Oh my god, we're gonna have to make so much fun of Heesh when he gets on here. He's pathetic at this. This is depressing. I'm just like, this man is technically sound, but when it comes to Twitter, I don't know what's going on. He is anyway.
Confident at running a multi.
Confident with yeah, he's a systems god and a DeFi god. I really can emphasize that enough, but he can't seem to figure out how to jump in as a speaker. I'm like, man, this guy is here.
Let me send a few more invites. See if that pops up.
Yeah, just give him a wall of spam. Let's see if we can. Okay. He'll figure. It says he's a listener right now. So he's listening to us, trying to figure out what to do. You joined as a listener, Heesh. You want to join as a speaker.
See if there's Did you get a notification in your messages or anything? Or
I did not know. I just joined the link that you had sent me, and I think you had given me permissions to be a speaker, so I was able to join as a speaker.
yeah. Let me see.
So he just left. He's probably going to try to join again.
Teething problems, eh?
Yeah.
So how are you doing in the meantime? All good?
I'm doing well. Just woke up this morning and kind of reacting to everything that's happened overnight. checking in with the team right now. We actually we have a virtual office. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I've seen some pictures of this online. So how does that work?
Yeah. So I mean, at first when we were starting out, we were pretty small, right? So coordinating everything was pretty easy when you only have 4 people. Also, real quick, do you guys hear any music in the background?
No,
My
no.
friend. Okay, great. Um, yeah, because I'm just blasting to EDM over here, you guys. So, no. Someone's playing music upstairs, but yeah. So when we started out, it was much smaller of a team, and so we didn't really need to coordinate too much non-async, right?
Yeah.
But eventually it came to the point where async sometimes just doesn't really do it. And so we said, hey, we kind of need a place, since we're all remote, to be able to walk up to each other and just immediately start talking. So we found this app, which if anybody here listening runs a team at all or has a group of people that they often talk to throughout the day in a non-async fashion, I would look at GatherTown. Very interesting app that you can use. It's kind of like a Pokemon-esque looking thing, 2D. You said you've seen pictures of it, so
Yeah.
I assume you've seen it. You can walk around, and when you walk up to somebody or a certain vicinity, when you're within a certain vicinity of them, your camera will pop up and you can talk to them, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of like it's like a Zoom mixed with a game. You can spawn whiteboards and start jotting ideas on whiteboards. Yeah, it's interesting.
That's cool.
He
It's all
just
getting a
joined as
little
a
bit
listener again. It looks like.
right. I've clicked
So
invite to co-host and I've clicked invite to speak. So there should be some.
okay, so you should see some pop up. He said, "I don't know what the fuck is going on," is what he said. So excuse my language, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm clicking the invite buttons, but it just doesn't seem to be coming through.
Let's see. Maybe Sid can join. Sid's also in here. You can add spirited Sid as a speaker if you want. He's listening right now, so you could probably, if you see him, he has like a red looking spirit pumpkin background.
Found and invited to speak. I mean, this should be 10 times fucking easier than it is, but you know.
Yeah. No, I'd be totally willing to take over, just like just do the whole AMA with you, but I feel like some technical questions you'd probably want to ask Heish or Sid, so it's important to probably have them here. I'm the one who can just bullshit and talk forever. Gotta have somebody on the team who can do that.
Ooh,
anyway, where are you located? Or if you don't mind me asking.
All right, that's good. Heish, do one thing.
yeah.
When he invites you, on the top it will be like a pop-up, and then you should be able to click on it.
We're gonna be celebrating if he actually gets in here. People are patient. Wow, I appreciate everybody. Very patient.
Yeah, no, thanks for sticking around. Jesus Christ, this is
they must like you.
Yeah, so I'm just out in Thailand as you were speaking earlier. So if you hear any kind of like wild street dogs running around, that
no way. Okay, Thailand. Nice.
I've been
yeah, sorry, go for it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean I've been to Thailand when I was younger. I was born in Hong Kong actually, and I lived there
for
12 years. Yeah, and so I used to travel around when I was really young. My parents liked to travel around Southeast Asia, so I used to go all over. But I haven't been back to Thailand, ever since becoming an adult. I feel like I should go there. It'll be a good experience. Yeah. Where are you in Thailand?
We're in Chiang Mai at the minute.
Oh,
we're going to be heading to Bangkok next week for my birthday. See how long that lasts. I think it'll be a pretty.
Sounds like an absolute debaucherous time.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of preparing my body, like, and mentally and physically for it already.
And so where are you originally from then?
I'm from from the UK originally, near Newcastle, so in the northeast.
Okay.
Managed to escape the UK at some point. There was kind of a gap where you could actually leave the UK and you could get into Thailand. So kind of sacked everything off at home and jumped on a plane and took a big gamble, and then here we are.
Oh, so you're not just visiting there, you're living there.
Yeah. It's just kind of open ended, so we're just seeing what happens. I think we're going to try and jump into Bali towards the end of the year as well. So it's not bad. It's not a bad life at the minute.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to where you originally started. I'm going to London next weekend to visit my brother because he lives there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like SpiritSwap accounts dropped out again.
It's okay. We can just start with Sid can replace him. It's okay. Sid can jump in.
Yeah, apologies for that.
Sid,
I'm not sure why that's not coming through.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to find like a quiet room. 1 sec.
Okay. Well, Sid will be here instead, and Heish can become a listener.
I need to make this UI a little bit easier. Maybe get you guys to design it. Might be a little bit better.
Right.
Hey, you there?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay, cool, nice. All right, I'm all set, so we can start.
Awesome. Thank you for persevering, everyone in the audience as well. Twitter Spaces is obviously a logistical UI nightmare, so thank you. Yeah. So how's everyone doing? How are you getting on? Sorry, I know it's first thing Monday where you guys are, so thanks for jumping on. I know it's not the first thing you want to be doing first thing on Monday morning, so yeah, thanks for that.
No, absolutely. I mean, we want to do more AMAs and talk to people more and get more exposure. This is great for us. We're excited to do this.
Awesome. Yeah. So just as I was saying, I'm out in Asia at the minute, and I've been out at obviously frequenting a couple of bars, and it's been so strange because you kind of overhear people speaking about crypto and in particular DeFi. And last week alone, there was 3 people I'd overheard and kind of butted into the conversation who was speaking about Phantom. So it's just really weird to hear wherever you're going all over the world. Like this ecosystem's actually gaining huge traction, and everyone seems to be speaking about it. It might be due to the price appreciation of Phantom itself over the past few months, but it's really weird and really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, price action will get people talking for sure. I also think the Phantom Developer Conference kind of caused a few ripples in the whole ecosystem and crypto in general, which is cool. And especially the Binance announcement there that Harry Ye had. People were looking for a Coinbase listing, but just wait, be patient, people. One step at a time. It's still a great announcement. And good step forward for Phantom in general.
Yeah, for sure. So why don't you just fill everyone in the audience about kind of your roles in day-to-day life at SpiritSwap and what you kind of do and what just fill everyone in with a little bit more information.
Yeah, sure. I can start and then Sid can do his part. So before SpiritSwap, I was working at Microsoft as a developer, and I worked on Forza. It's a racing game. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but
yeah.
I worked on. I was a gameplay programmer on Forza, and so I used to work on. And I swear this applies to my current role at SpiritSwap, but I used to work on specific game features. And, we'd put together a team of 4 to 6 people. You'd have a designer, you'd have a developer or 2 developers, and you'd have somebody kind of leading and pushing, like a PM leading and pushing all the different tasks that need to be done. So you had a little crack team that would get specific features done, right? And on our team at SpiritSwap, it's kind of very similar. So we have small pockets of teams that do specific things. So that's something that I'm super used to. Going from being a developer at Microsoft to jumping into Spirit and kind of helping lead, pushing out different features and those different, like creating those pockets of teams. One team working on maybe a new UI or a I don't want to give alpha away. I almost just gave some alpha away. or working.
Feel free.
I can't because I feel like it might give our competitor a leg up. So I'm gonna be careful on that. But let's say working on inSPIRIT. On inSPIRIT.
Okay.
And so I'm used to that kind of work environment. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of leading teams through that, making sure things get done, and making sure people know what they're doing. A people kind of manager at this point. Awesome. That's my main role. I'll jump into, everybody has a main role and we jump into other things. So of course I'll be in TG responding to different teams, trying to talk about collaborations with other teams, partnerships. I'll jump into Twitter occasionally if I'm feeling like it. Very rarely we have people doing social media stuff, but yeah. Sid, you want to go?
Yeah, I can. So yeah, as Rob said, everybody has like focused roles within Spirit. I'm kind of like doing like the outreach and partnerships that comes under like my radar, along with like helping out with like technical stuff, making sure like our plans are like on track, setting up like deadlines and like those kind of things, like doing like PR reviews. So kind of like doing like both of them right now. So that's both of us, and then he's just kind of like the DeFi god. He's not here, so I'll just quickly like intro him. He's kind of like the DeFi brains of like Spirit. He comes up with ideas and he tells us like what he needs, and then like it's up to like me and Rob to like figure out like on like how do we like do that. So that's kind of like how like we're like working together.
Awesome. So was because of the way that the kind of industry is moving now, and there's such a kind of plethora of choices for different chains, was there a specific reason for choosing to deploy on Phantom? Was there any other chains that were kind of considered prior to launch or anything like that?
Yeah. Or yeah. You want to do?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we had a lot of we had a lot of thoughts around this. We initially like did an NFT project, like four of us, and then we were like, hey, let's do like something substantial. Let's like think of like doing something in DeFi. So we started exploring. Like we looked at Solana. Like we were like really interested, and then we looked at Phantom. And then we thought like, hey, Phantom is like an EVM compatible chain. Like it's looking like really awesome right now with like the speed and the transaction fees. And then we saw like there was a gap with there was no dexes available on Phantom at that point. So we were like, hey, let's jump in, let's see what we can do. And like we started like building, and then we like launched end of like April.
Awesome. And was there a decision to be made of kind of what style AMM that you guys want to go for? Obviously, kind of like this other AMMs and decks went with like a sushi X sushi model, and then you guys are kind of went with the curve model. Was there that a hard decision to make based on kind of how other chains had implemented it?
Yeah, so it is not like hard decision because we had like so many different options like available. We initially thought of like doing the sushi X sushi model based on like what you had been like seeing, but then we are like, hey, like this V curve model like looks like really interesting, and then Andre had pinged us saying that, hey, like look into this further. So we started exploring, and like Heesh has been like in the DeFi space for like last 2-3 years. So he kind of like knows what's happening.
Guys, great news. He's
nice.
Hey, I made it in.
You, my friend, have to be the least technically capable technical person I've ever met in my life.
Okay, get this though. Apparently, it doesn't work on web, so I had to go to my phone.
Okay.
So that's super annoying. Yeah.
So we got there at the end. Yeah. So Heesh,
Wow.
why don't you give us a kind of a background? Sorry, I just asked the two other lads on
Yeah,
their kind of day-to-day.
I missed the last couple minutes, but yeah, essentially, I've been in DeFi for about like 2 years now. I was really early when it all started. I first got into synthetics. I think that was the first DeFi project I started looking into, and then MakerDAO. I was a Wi-Fi farmer, and then kind of just my goal was to just use every protocol out there. So I would kind of just like experiment a bunch. And then Ethereum got really expensive, so I started branching off, moving to other chains and experimenting elsewhere. And yeah, that's kind of what I do. I like to invest in DeFi. I like to learn about it. I like weird DeFi projects and interesting tokenomics like VCRV or Olympus DAO. And I kind of get inspiration from those.
Awesome. I think it's good when you're coming from within the industry. Sometimes people can kind of pivot to DeFi just as it's kind of what's hot at the moment and things like that. But if you've kind of been in the trenches yourself, you kind of know what people want. So it's a good way to come. Good angle
it's
to
a
come
lot
from.
to learn, so it takes a while.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. This is what I always say though, just exactly what you've touched upon when people are asking like how to learn about it. It's like you've got to get onto these more user-friendly chains and just try everything, experiment, even if it's with like small amounts, and just kind of figure it out by actually trying it out yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best ways to learn about DeFi. Just jump on a chain where gas transactions are cheap and just try literally every product out there. Go to DeFi Llama, see what's on that chain, and just try out everything.
So I remember the first time I jumped on BSC, Hisham was helping me learn how to do some certain things. And I remember I was like, this is kind of annoying. I don't really want to stake anything. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to take a break for the day. So I took a break, and I remember coming back the next day, and BNB had doubled in price. So I look at my wallet, and it goes from it was like some $8,000 to like $16,000. I go, oh my God, I haven't done anything. I can do this more often. This is an interesting space. And so I jumped into it and learned more. And
yeah, there was that time around like November, December time last year where it just exploded. And I think that was kind of people who'd missed like the kind of first DeFi summer kind of first got their real experience and in DeFi and seeing how crazy it could actually get, because it started just getting a bit fucking insane if you ask me, but it was fun at the time.
Yeah. Also, though, like I mentioned the whole price action thing, but to be honest, I do kind of more like to focus on interesting tech and whatnot. And I like Andre's view on kind of how, or like what is important. And I don't know if you guys watched the Phantom Developer Conference, but Harry A asked him to yell Phantom Pump. And he was just like, he just turned to Harry and goes, "There's no way that's happening. I'm absolutely not doing that." I like his attitude toward it. He's definitely a techie, and I think we need more people like that in the space. So amen to what he said.
Yeah, for sure. A question I seem to get asked an awful lot, is particularly following the article, is kind of how the inSPIRIT tokens work. So I don't know if you want to give like people in the audience like a brief overview, because I did see Liquid Driver have also brought out their own kind of inSPIRIT token as well. So if you could just give people a brief overview, that would be great.
Yeah. Maybe I'll start with inSPIRIT. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so inSPIRIT is essentially the governance token of SpiritSwap. It's got three main functions. The first one is a booster for your farm. So if you hold inSPIRIT tokens, and this is based off an equation, if you hold a sufficient amount, you can boost your APY or APR on your farm up to 2.5x. So say you're farming with 100% APR, and you don't hold any inSPIRIT. If you get a sufficient amount of inSPIRIT, then you could start farming with a 250% APR. So that's kind of like the utility of inSPIRIT. When it comes to voting, you can vote on your favorite farms once a week. So any inSPIRIT holder kind of decides where the allocation of the spirit emissions go to for farms. And then also just regular governance as well. And then the third thing is that we have a 0.05% protocol fee on every swap. And that all gets used to buy spirit tokens and then gets distributed to inSPIRIT holders. So the place that inSPIRIT comes in is that inSPIRIT is a non-transferable token. Once you have it in your wallet, you can't move it. And to get it, you have to lock your spirit tokens. So you kind of just have to wait till your lock is up if you want to do anything with your inSPIRIT besides the three mentioned things. So what Liquid Driver and Grim Finance have done is they've created a wrapper for inSPIRIT. So essentially you would deposit spirit tokens into either Grim Finance or Liquid Driver, and then they would lock inSPIRIT or lock a spirit for inSPIRIT for the max amount of time, 4 years. And then they'll just keep permanently locking it. So any spirit tokens that get deposited in Grim or Liquid Driver is permanently locked forever. And then they'll give you a receipt token called either inSPIRIT or inSPIRIT. And those are inSPIRITs. So many spirits. But so those don't come with the farm booster. Since those are auto farm protocols, they'll use the inSPIRIT that they lock up to boost their own farms. So any user farming through Grim's vaults or Liquid Driver's vaults, they'll get a boost there. But if they were to farm on their own on SpiritSwap and they're holding either inSPIRIT or inSPIRIT, they won't get a boost with that. The user also won't be able to vote with those tokens. So essentially like Grim Finance and Liquid Driver will be doing the voting for them. However, they will be earning those swap fees, and those wrappers are all transferable tokens. So they'll have like a liquid version of it. How's that? Does that make sense?
Absolutely perfect. Yeah. One thing that completely blew my mind when I was kind of doing some research for the actual article was I scrolled down to the inSPIRIT lockup, and there's an actual metric if you connect your wallet to see the average amount of days that people have locked up their spirit for. And currently, like before I jumped on here, just checked it, it's 840 days. So people are like super kind of longevity on this project, and it seems to kind of resonate with everything that Phantom are doing. It's kind of like even their incentives program seems to be with kind of the long game in mind. So I don't know if you could speak to that or anything. I just thought that was a pretty mental statistic.
Yeah, I've noticed that over time that lock period has like slowly been going up. I think it started at like 300 days and like now it's 800 or something. So I think part of that could be due to those inSPIRIT protocols, because they do permanently lock Spirit up, and I guess they've kind of gotten bigger over time. I mean, I still think there's only like maybe less than a fifth of all locked inSPIRIT is through those inSPIRIT programs, but I think that could contribute to it, and we do have a lot of long-term supporters. So
yeah, it still blows my mind to see it. Yeah, so what I also noticed recently was so you guys have jumped on the bonds as a service through Olympus. I was just wondering if you could kind of touch on that for people who might not have. They'll have probably heard of Olympus and Ohm over the past few months because it's in kind of the public psyche. Everyone understands what's going on there, but just kind of how these bonds as a service work, and how is it of mutual benefit to both you and Ohm and things like that.
Yeah. So I love Olympus DAO, and when they launched Olympus Pro, I reached out to them immediately. I was like, "You guys should launch on Phantom. We'll totally use you." But to back up a little bit, Olympus DAO has these things called bonds, where essentially they buy LP tokens from people that bond, and in return they give out Ohm tokens. So a user can come in and deposit some Ohm DAI LP tokens, and then in return they'll get Ohm at a discount, and it usually vests for like 7 days. So this, I guess, if people want to buy Ohm at a discount, they could just deposit those LP tokens, and what that allows Ohm to do is to, I guess, get their own protocol controlled liquidity. And that kind of allows them to, hold their own liquidity for their own token, and, no whale owns that liquidity and can't rug it. It's owned by the protocol. The protocol makes money off of it for all the fees. And it just creates kind of a more long-term, safer environment for the users of the project. So they launched Olympus Pro, which is essentially bonds as a service. So any project can use Olympus Pro, and they'll give out their governance tokens in return for, I guess, the bonds of their choice or the LP tokens of their choice. So what we're doing with Olympus Pro right now is we are selling Spirit at a discount for Phantom Spirit tokens. So users will come in and deposit Phantom Spirit tokens, Phantom Spirit LP tokens, and then they'll earn Spirit at a discount. And I think so far we've accumulated about 300,000 of our own protocol controlled liquidity. So that's really cool. And we're also looking at ways to expand this and make it a little more intricate and bring it into kind of the governance realm, similar to our gauges.
Yeah, I think it's just completely. The Spirits just seems to be kind of riding all the popular narratives at the minute. I mean, especially with the protocol on liquidity and the kind of everyone's speaking about the curve wars and things like that. And you guys seem to be just set up in this kind of perfect orientation to just capture that whole kind of spectrum of what everyone's speaking about at the minute. So do you kind of foresee projects wanting to kind of steer the Spirit rewards towards their pools as this develops? Do you think that kind of will play out?
Yeah, so I guess the only missing piece to all these, like, I guess to that situation is enabling governance. So once we enable governance, and anyone that holds inSPIRIT can propose pools, propose farms, and really start to, I guess, control where the liquidity goes on SpiritSwap, I think it'll all kind of come together, and that's something we're looking to do very soon. And I'm really, really excited for that. I don't really like choosing where the emissions go for Spirit to which farms and which pools. And I think it'd just be a much better system if the community could do it, and if they had that control and power in their hands. So, and that's kind of what creates the whole V curve effect anyways. Like, that's kind of the missing link to our token model right now.
Yeah, because if I could be completely wrong because half the time I'm talking a lot of rubbish. But with Curve, there's only a select few projects that can actually vote. If I'm right in saying that, like, so Yearn and Convex and maybe Stake is the other one who can actually vote to distribute the weekly or the bi-weekly Curve rewards. So with the permissionless pools and governance on Spirit, effectively, it's just completely fair game for anyone to kind of persuade the vote. Is that right?
Yeah, any project can come along. If they have enough inSPIRIT, they can propose their own farm. And then if they have enough inSPIRIT, they can vote for it and get emissions there. So
Awesome.
Completely permissionless and open.
Cool. What this next question's always kind of confused me a little bit once I've been like writing articles over the past 12 or however many months it was, but whenever it comes to an AMM or a DEX and you're kind of digging into kind of the revenue that they create, they seem to be on the much higher end compared to some protocols that don't really generate an awful lot of revenue. But when you drill down to like your P&E and P&S ratios, so like market cap compared to revenue, it always seems to be the AMMs and the DEX that are on like the lower market cap side compared to how much revenue they're actually creating and how much what would be the word? I don't. It just seems a little bit odd, and I can't actually get my head around why some of the market caps compared to how much revenue these projects are creating always seems to come down to AMMs and DEX. I don't know if there's kind of an inside scoop, but you can actually touch upon. It might enlighten me a little bit more. But is that something that you notice as well?
So like, I guess the market caps of AMMs are usually lower than, I guess, like some other type of protocol, like maybe like a money market or something. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, so if you look at like you guys and QuickSwap and even Trader Joe, so their actual annualized revenue in comparison to the market cap puts them at like the complete top of the, like you guys fall at the top end of the table. So how much revenue you guys are generating compared to the market cap?
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. It always just seems to be the MMs when I'm kind of digging into those statistics. I just can't for the life of me figure out why that is.
So I think my take on this is that all these AMMs follow the XYK, Uni V2 model for the AMM, and they require a lot of incentives to make it work. Like if we didn't have Spirit emissions, we probably wouldn't have all that much liquidity. And I think that those Spirit emissions kind of get priced in dilution wise. That's why we're kind of trying to create a sustainable environment for us to be emitting Spirit, but also to be able to grow market cap wise. And that's kind of where we're going with the whole V curve model for inSPIRIT, as well as that protocol owned liquidity for that long-term liquidity. So I think that's kind of my take on it. The XYK model just isn't really efficient, and like there's a lot of impermanent loss. So we need that mercenary capital in there to farm in order to kind of maintain the TVL. And without that TVL, we wouldn't have as much volume because slippage would be really bad. We're also working on a few other projects to address that.
Awesome. I suppose it's because immediately when you land on the SpiritSwap page, you just see on the left hand side, it's just a complete kind of DeFi ecosystem in and of itself. Another question I keep getting asked is the kind of meme reflection token still in the works, or?
I mean, those are all complete. I'm not really sure if we can personally release them. We probably need I don't know if I really want to go there at the moment.
Yeah, no worries, no problem. What about I think I was listening to one of the Phantom community alerts chats that you guys had before, and there was someone brought up the idea of going cross chain, and for some reason it just kind of piqued my interest because obviously the way that everything's going now with the infrastructure with the bridges and things like that. I don't know if that's kind of something that you guys have ever spoke about, or would it ever kind of be of interest?
Our token will for sure go cross chain. I think it's already on BSC, but we'll probably have it on every chain at some point. But so our XYK AMM, I don't think it's completely worth taking that cross chain because it won't really do anything without incentives. And even if we do have incentives, there's a bunch of first movers there that'll just dominate anyways. But we do have some pretty innovative products that we're working on, and I think those would actually be good standalone cross chain. So maybe those. But right now, no plans for our current product to go cross-chain, but our token for sure.
Awesome.
And just to add on to that, the future products are going to be an addition to our current product. It's not going to be a separate.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So it's not going to be a standalone product. It's just going to be something built into Spirit.
Exactly.
You can think of it as an enhancement.
God, these are such broad terms that if you said anything else, it would just give it away right now. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask what's next, but I think we'll just leave it for everything to come out in the wash. But before I kind of open it up to people who are listening, if anyone else has got any questions, just want to kind of. I was supposed to finish with this on the last podcast, but I just completely forgot and just ended up rambling. But if there was kind of outside of the top 10 projects and kind of the regular blue chips, if you were to have created any other project, which project do you wish that you'd actually came up with and had a real big part to play?
I mean, for me, Olympus DAO, hands down.
It seems to be the narrative at the moment, isn't it?
It's funny because it's like the flavor right now, but I've been all about it for like ever since.
Yeah, Hisham has been since day one over there. But I was gonna backtrack just a little bit. Hish, we can mention what's upcoming here within the next few weeks, just because people here want to hear about what's upcoming as well, right? So we want to give their listeners something, or his listeners something to look forward to. Did you want to talk about Aid Mode at all?
Yeah, I mean, we've got pretty much leverage trading on long tail assets.
Oh, we haven't lost him.
For all those degen on Phantom.
He got to restart what you said. I think he cut out.
Oh, okay.
The ultimate tease.
Yeah, we've got leverage trading for long tail assets, and yeah, I think that's going to be a really fun product for all the degens on Phantom.
And bridge updates, but
yeah, so you'll be able to go long up to 3x on any shitcoin out there and have fun doing it.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, I can see it now. Is there anything else you want to add before we open the questions up, if there is any?
Nothing from me. Thanks for having us, though, and apologies for the late entry.
That's partly my fault. I probably should have warned people that it doesn't work on the web. I've only just figured that out myself, so I'm not trying to pretend I'm a lot smarter than I am.
Oh, so that's been verified. Hisham's actually correct. He's not just making an excuse.
No, yeah, I looked it up.
Okay.
I had to know.
Yeah, just before we open up as well, thanks a lot for jumping on. I know it's very early, beginning of the week for you guys, and obviously very, very hectic at the minute with everything going on, so I appreciate that. So does anyone want to jump in, just request to speak? If not, we can let these guys actually get off and do something properly with their lives while we just spend it sitting on Twitter and shit like that. Ooh, we've got one here. Badly won. Let's have a go. How to speak here. Okay. Yeah, you on?
Yeah, guys, I just want to ask about Keeper and what do you think of it? Thank you so much.
I love the project. Hope to see them launch on Phantom at some point. If they come cross-chain, I would love to give them a farm.
Yeah, I like the whole gig economy. I mean, gig economy is it's our generation type of thing, right? It's fantastic. I also think that I was reading an article about Keeper, and I think Andre, his main purpose, maybe I've literally read one article on Keeper, guys. So sorry if I'm off here, but I really like how he's trying to create an avenue for contract workers and smart contract developers to earn and also help each other and build off of each other and his smart contracts as well. He often, like in the Phantom space, will send projects smart contracts that he's built that haven't been fully battle tested but are betas. And he sent it to us before. He sent us smart contracts with like, hey, you guys could build this, this, and this go ahead and do it. And I think this could give an avenue for developers to work with each other, and also get rewarded for doing so. So I'm excited for it.
The guy just sounds like a mythical creature. Is it really as is it really as chaotic and brilliant as it appears from the outside looking in?
It does seem that way. Yeah, we actually didn't get to interact with him too much when we were at Phantom Developer Conference. We feel like we didn't want to be fanboys. We want to give him space, let him do his thing. We did walk past him as a group, like me, Hisham, and 2 others who aren't on the call right now, and we stopped him and said hi. But right as we did, Harry Ye emerged from a door across the room and yelled Andre. So Andre turned around and his attention was taken to where we were like, oh my God, it was our one moment to actually say hi to him and not be weird about it. So we just moved on. Yeah. But he's a great guy. Seems like a good dude. I like him.
Yeah. Okay, we've got FD. I'll just accept this. 2 seconds.
I was just going to say that I'm also a big Keeper fan and Blockmates. I really love kind of the breakdown reports that you do. So Keeper these days is a lot more than a jobs platform. And I was wondering if you could actually do one of your publications on Keeper, because it encompasses so many more products than just the jobs these days.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely cover it. I think as soon as there's some actual documents and actual legit documents out for it, and not just kind of speculation of what's going to happen, I'll definitely get in touch if anyone knows anyone I can actually speak to there to get some of the actual documents. I'll definitely cover it and try and break it down so all the apes can understand what the hell is actually going on over there.
Great, I'd love to read that.
Wait, who was requesting? Is it FD? Did you request to speak there?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Here we go.
So hey, yeah, I'm a good fan of your content, Blockmate, and I also use SpiritSwap. So great stuff there, guys. I have a question here on I heard some of the DAO stuff like Temple DAO and City DAO. So what are those? I try to understand the concept of it, but still don't quite get it. Thank you. And if you guys know any of that?
Those are. I've never heard of City DAO, but Temple DAO is a fork of Ohm with their own twist on it, I guess.
Man, I popped into their Discord once and they were getting people to sing to verify their Discord account.
Yeah.
The rituals.
Pilgrimage. It was actually really cool. I really enjoyed that.
I thought it was so fucking funny, honestly. I was just cracking up listening to people.
All right, I guess it's dangerous stuff, I guess.
Yeah, very dangerous. Yeah, is there any more questions before we let these guys get off and actually build the future of France, or are we finished? I think that looks about it. Speak now. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you very much again. And if once these new products come out and things like that, we can roll this back if it's not going to take up too much of your time.
Yeah, would love to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right. Thanks everyone, and thanks again.
All right. Thanks so much for having us.